Well, guys, I guess I got to give the people what they want. You guys voted for this one, the John Zerka video from Turkey Tom. So yeah, let's do that video. So it's called John Zerka Will Do Anything for Views. So hey, $20 is $20, baby. That's all I have to say. Let's go.
Time watching live stream. If you've spent any amount of time watching live streams over the last couple of years, the name John Zerka is likely to ring a bell. He's garnered notoriety.
Yeah, I saw him on Destiny stream a while back, so.
To the extent that the mere mention of his name has turned into a sort of internet cultural reference point or meme. Zerka has definitely constructed.
Is he really that, I guess, prominent or prolific, we'll say? He just seems like he's kind of a meme that's just trying to attach himself to people for attention, but maybe I'm wrong.
A public persona that could very well be compared to that of a super troll, captivating audiences by frequently making audacious remarks and doing things considered taboo by mainstream standards, all in the pursuit of getting reactions. The most,
I mean, wouldn't you feel like if your whole thing is just being shocking for attention, don't you feel like maybe that's pathetic, or like you don't have any self-respect, that you're basically making yourself into a clown at that point, no? Or whatever.
most recent of these controversies occurred when an interview cropped up where he was with an adult video star and he said some pretty wild stuff. This was later confirmed to be an outright lie. However, it's critical to note that most people who have come across this internet personality are only acquainted with surface level details. Furthermore, they may possess a fuzzy understanding of his affiliations.
Well, I just saw the whole racist thing with him and Fresh and Fit and Evan Preach, and I was like, okay, this guy's not for me.
With other controversial figures within the red pill content creation sphere, such as Fresh and Fit or Sneeko. But what a large number of people fail to grasp is the amount of headline-grabbing incidents this guy has been involved in. While it's true that he's been mired in multiple controversies, to the point where he's faced several suspensions from the live streaming platform Twitch, ultimately forcing him to find refuge on alternative sites like Kick, there's a deeper story here that many have yet to explore. Zerka has an extensive history of saying
Pearl? Whoa, she's everywhere.
Outlandish things for attention, and he's largely built his brand on this template since 2019, burning several bridges in the process.
Damn.
Today, we'll be uncovering the ashes of those bridges and much more as we go into the full history of John Zerka, a creator that truly will do anything.
It's not a very good picture of him. Wow, the whole time there was no video playing. What a bad guy. That's okay, guys. You can deal with the first minute and a half with that.
For views. Not
sorry, guys.
much is known about Zerka before he made his first appearance on the internet, except for a few sparse details about when he was born and what he claims he used to spend time doing. The details that are known have been told by him, and with future context, knowing he tends to over-exaggerate things for his online character, many question the authenticity of any kind of background he claims to have before his appearance online. But for the sake of argument, let's assume his account of his past pre-internet to be largely factual. John Zerka was born in 1995.
All I have to say is I'm happy that I grew up pre-super big internet. You know what I mean? Because I was just some crazy guy. I would have probably been recorded in some kind of a gaming thing, you know? Be a little bit of a meme.
In Canada to an Albanian family from Kosovo who followed secular Islamic practices. He had an early fascination with Dragon Ball, particularly connecting with the character Vegeta. As a child, Zerka was reserved and timid, traits that stand in stark
I really connected with the character Boo because he liked to eat, and I'm morbidly obese. So.
Contrast with his current audacious online presence. As a child, John would become extremely attached to a teddy bear he would get from his refugee family home, and often
I used to have a doll. Weirdly enough, I mean, I'm a normal man, called the Baby. It was a boy baby doll. Saying it out loud, it's kind of weird. It's a little feminine. So good. So bizarre that I had that. But that's what I did, I guess. And then I had a lot of Ninja Turtles, and I used to, when I got a little older, I started lighting them on fire. And Thomas the Tank Engine was pretty fucking cool.
play with it along with his Dragon Ball toys with his siblings. Getting very attached to this teddy bear, he would feel so connected just from the sentimental feeling that all the way to grade 9, he was still playing with it and having a serious connection. But one day, presumably because they had moved or had to sell some things due to financial reasons, his father would tell him that they gave away the bear. Mostly because, according to John...
Well, I imagine that if that is true, it's probably because the dad thought it was kind of cringe that he had the bear and wanted him to grow up a little bit, so it took him away from him.
He was already in grade 9 and his parents thought he needed to grow out of it. John said he spent the next 3 days crying over the loss of his bear, and his brothers often called him soft because of it. Throughout school, he would also constantly grind a video game called...
That's interesting, because isn't that his whole persona now, is being anti-soft? So I wonder if that moment had such a negative impact on him and he's just projecting onto other people. He experienced the pain of not being able to have his teddy bear, not being able to be soft, a little feminine, if you will. And so now he feels the need to restrict that from everybody else. Wow, what a sad story.
Called Maple Story, an MMORPG with a very dedicated player base. Similar to games like World of Warcraft that sucked time out of anyone that got invested, John was one of the kids that did in fact get very, very invested. Because of his assumed lack of real friends in school and his quiet, nerdy demeanor, John would sink hours and hours into this game throughout his entire school career, waking up in the morning and putting in almost 8 hours a day from the age of 14 to 18.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I used to be like a really very good student. I was accelerated in all my classes. I started playing World of Warcraft, and by I think it was 10th grade, I was playing 16 hours a day. I was skipping school to play WoW. You know, I was fucking I was pretty high up in the PvP rankings. So I was ranked 12. Should have got ranked 13 at least, maybe 14 really. But I ended up wanting to raid, and my guild was terrible and very interesting.
So much so that he got very out of shape, and his parents, particularly his mom, would beg him to stop playing and do something else. According to him, he didn't just play it, he made money.
You know what's interesting? My understanding is in like Japan or other countries, maybe it's China, they recognize video game addiction as like a real thing. And it might actually be. And they even have apparently like rehab or detox clinics for it. So isn't that something?
And ran several of the higher-up guilds, along with his hacker friends, using it to project his love for supervillains as Vegeta. He also got into VAC hacking and became close with the FM King, becoming the highest-ranked Dragon Knight in the Scania server. He also describes this as when he learned about financial things like inflation, and that this game gave him purpose and meaning to his life. Because of the insane time sink, Zerka was failing all of his classes almost every year, and almost got kicked out multiple times. He would have to do summer school almost...
What's crazy is like I basically didn't do 10th and 11th grade. I like failed most of my classes because I just didn't care. I just didn't show up, and I still could have graduated on time because I was like so far ahead. I just didn't want to. Ended up dropping out and getting my GED. Sad stuff, right?
Every year of high school. Despite his failing grades, teachers would notice him making impressive drawings of Dragon Ball characters. Whoa. And as a result...
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, okay? Let me just say that. But how impressive is a Dragon Ball character to draw? You know what I mean? I just remember everybody and their fucking mom was drawing Dragon Ball characters in school. They're like, "Oh man, yeah, I kind of want to be a fucking artist, dude." And then they would draw Goku's face, and it's like, what is that? It's like a rhombus, you know? I'm just saying.
According to him, he was put in a certificate genius ID class, where he apparently was placed in a classroom of super geniuses. Damn. Apparently, he never did well in these classes apart from art, and according to him, he drew the Mona Lisa with crayons, doing things that usually took weeks to finish in a few days when it came to drawing. And just a reminder, this is all coming from him, so the likelihood of a kid with failing grades in every single class being placed in genius classes, I think it's more likely he was in special ed. Being drawn to more artistic and language-based classes, he was very interested.
Maybe they told him that he was a genius.
In Old English literature.
You're just special. Okay.
Sure, particularly the story of Romeo and Juliet, wherein he imagined himself in the story and said he wanted to be Romeo. In real life, John was a quiet and nervous kid, and he never got into sports at all. According to him, the only sport I was good at was manipulation, but that still took him years to learn.
The only sport I've ever been good at is manipulation, negotiating people out of the bar and into giving me their money out of respect. Like, listen, you fucked up our fucking bartender, you're a big biker dude, you don't do that in my home, blah, blah, blah. But that took years. I wasn't even good at that. It took years.
John would also constantly get the shakes, which led to some major issues in his life, with him even failing multiple...
Yep, me too. I constantly get the shakes all the time. That's why I have diabetes.
...times to get his driver's license. This was a very rough time for John. His first forays into dating were marred by nervousness, evidenced by the shakes he would often experience during these encounters. It was also during this time...
Hey guys, I'm really good at manipulating people. By the way, I also get the shakes. Needs my ability to have social interaction. But okay.
Attempted to pursue a career in sales, but to little avail. Failing to secure a stable job in life course, Zerka started selling drugs, leading to a transient lifestyle that involved crashing on friends' couches. Eventually, a close friend helped him secure a job as a nightclub bouncer, which would be his job for the next 5 years. Tragically, that friend would later be stabbed and presumably killed, plunging Zerka into a downward spiral of depression and substance abuse. He would also take this out in bars and would get into fights all the time. The convergence of these life events, along with his temperament, set the stage for his transition into what we know him as today, as at the time he would upload brutal videos from his bouncer job to his Instagram. By 2019, he was ready to take the internet by storm, and it was almost a foregone conclusion that Zerka would become the focal point of internet chatter. In January 2019, Zerka was still pretty much an unknown entity when it came to anything online related, but he still used the internet a lot when he wasn't doing hardcore drugs or beating up people as a bouncer. During his downtime, perhaps out of sheer boredom, he stumbled on Raj Patel's King of the Hill show, an internet reality show hosted by Raj. The show had an
I thought it was going to be the real King of the Hill. I liked that show. That was pretty good.
interesting twist. Raj would gather a group of attractive female streamers and have them interact with random people he picked up from the audience, with the possibility of dating in the mix. It's a bit like today's popular podcast trend, exemplified by shows like Fresh and Fit, where instead of dating, people engage in debates. But back then, with Raj's show, it was more about gauging the charisma and personality of the random participants. It was spontaneous and anything could happen. Zerka, unlike most guests on the show, didn't seem to take any of it seriously. He struggled to complete a coherent sentence and spent the majority of his time roasting the girls and avoiding questions.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
One of his initial moves was to display what he claimed was a pistol, which violated Twitch's terms of service and sent the host Raj into a panic until Zerka humorously revealed it was fake and apologized.
I mean, what was he worried about? Is the gun gonna fucking shoot the gun through the webcam? Like, what the hell are you worried about? I'm just kidding. Probably his platform. He's probably he's probably worried about having a negative impact on his platform. I understand that.
Slowly but surely, viewers began to catch on that this was all a massive troll, but there was something about Zerka's demeanor that started to charm some of the audience.
I got the president for her name's Candyland, right?
Yes, I got that. Let me see. I'm excited.
So, it's an English dictionary.
I hope he's not gonna show his
I can't understand. Every time she speaks, I don't understand her.
Address sorry.
I got another present. There's a rose.
Okay.
Is this fucking real?
This rose will go to whoever I'm the most compatible with.
What set Zerka apart from the typical streamers was his brazen disregard for convention. While others sought to impress the audience with their wit and charm, he seemed intent on dismantling the entire premise of Raj Patel's show. His reluctance to engage in the expected dating rituals and his penchant for roasting the female participants left many viewers in stitches. Zerka
was pretty based. Hey, listen, if you can't get women and you don't think you can, you're better off not even trying, instead berating them, because this way, if they don't like you, it's because you made that decision. There you go. Boom. I figured it out.
In essence, the anti-hero of the stream, a character who thrived on chaos and unpredictability. Their reactions throughout the entire stream proved that comedy is dead. John's lines and comedic timing were perfect. I was laughing my ass off the whole time.
You say you're a sweetheart, so like, what's the nicest thing you've ever done for a girl?
Okay, for my ex, like, don't laugh. I would wash my body and my private parts with toothpaste, so it tastes minty, right?
What the fuck?
No. I was thinking of her.
This unorthodox approach to streaming not only set him apart, but also paved the way for a new kind of content creator who would emerge in the years to come. It's essential to remember that this was before figures like Andrew Tate gained widespread fame. So in some ways, Zerka's unapologetic attitude on his stream could be seen as a precursor to the kind of content creator that would emerge in the future. At a time when every Twitch streamer was very socially conscious, constantly trying to avoid bans, and constantly sucking.
Well, isn't that just how it is now? I feel like everybody's always trying to do that, no? It's kind of like self-preservation.
Up to bigger streamers, trying to social climb their way to the top. Zerka was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, all these things. I mean, there are people who will fucking suck the dick off of bigger, like, content creators that are just so dog shit. And I guess I'm just kind of finally really coming to the realization that a lot of them are dog shit, which is why, like, I don't even really engage. It's just so stupid, so.
John Zerka, instead of social climbing, was happy to kick the ladder down and laugh from the bottom as everyone fell off. A major testament to his entertainment value was how well the stream did after it was posted to YouTube, getting 500,000 views in almost a day. People began to adore him and started following him on Instagram and Twitter, which he continuously promoted while delivering humorous insults to all of the female participants on the stream.
John fucking Zerka.
How do you spell that?
Okay.
JON_Ken_ZHERKA.
In the aftermath of that fateful stream, Zerka's social media presence exploded. The combination of his sheer audacity and the humor itself had struck a chord with a significant portion of the online community. However, it also attracted its fair share of detractors and skeptics. In fact, he garnered so many that his Instagram account was banned shortly after the live stream concluded.
Well, why was it that banned? Were people just mass reporting him, or was it a fucking Instagram live thing? What the fuck?
Probably due to the videos of people getting the snot kicked out of them by bouncers, and John included. Regardless, people loved Zerka and the obvious character he was playing, and Raj would start having him on as a consistent guest after this infamous first stream. When Zerka returned for the next episode, he cranked up his cocky attitude and doubled down on his witty roasts, much to the amusement of the audience. But Zerka wasn't content with just being a fixture on King of the Hill. He extended his larger-than-life persona to other platforms and events, including debates that featured the same audacious personality reminiscent of Andrew Tate. These appearances had a peculiar effect on the serious debate participants, like Destiny, as Zerka's irreverence and unapologetic style turned what was once serious discourse into a lighthearted spectacle where he would just roast everyone and totally ignore the topic at hand. With each statement, such as the notorious declaration that fat shaming works, Zerka solidified.
Well, it doesn't, but it's funny. I mean, I'm not supposed to say that, but sometimes it can be a little funny.
his position as not just a character on the show, but as the driving force behind its entertainment value.
They do shame. They call you a fat fucking, you're all low IQ, you stupid. You want to harm society by telling them they're beautiful and fat and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up, Destiny.
Fans couldn't get it.
Well, listen, it's not helping society. Okay, here's the thing, right? It's not hurting society to tell fat people that they're fat. If anything, it's a neutral, right? It's just making them feel better about themselves, which will actually make it more likely for them to go outside and engage in, you know, the real world. When you break down somebody's confidence to such a degree, they're not going to feel confident to go outside, which they need to do. We need to go for walks and get the gym and whatnot. That being said, I feel like there's probably better communication methods I mean, there's a lot of systemic problems, but at the end of the day, people are like food addicted. There's a whole conversation there, but I feel like it would help to explain to people in a productive way that your relationship with food could be hurting your ability to process information. Like there is, at least in my experience, sometimes like almost a brain fog when I eat poorly, especially if you're diabetic, which if you're eating too much, you probably are. And it's probably good to understand that. And, you know, that might be like, oh, wow, it's more than just like hurting my body. Because the hurt, it's like such a long-term thing. You don't really realize it. It's like, oh man, maybe I should try to get my shit together, you know? And also, now my wife and I have been eating much better. We're not eating perfect, but we haven't been going out to eat nearly as much. We barely get fast food. But if we want to eat something that's not like perfect, we're like, maybe we'll eat something from home. So like yesterday, my wife, instead of going to like KFC, my wife made mashed potatoes and then chicken. And then, oh, come on, are you serious? Mashed potatoes, chicken, corn, some gravy. Made our own little KFC bowls. Cool stuff. It was nice and easy and simple. And it's been healthier though. Like we've been having better poo-poos. That's it. We've been having much better doo-doos because we've been just eating better, and it feels nice to shit. Well, that's everything I'm saying.
Enough, and they eagerly asked about his whereabouts whenever he wasn't on the Raw show. This demand eventually prompted him to create his own Twitch channel. It was around this time that Zerka decided to diversify his content and start his own shows, capitalizing on the momentum he had generated. Leaving behind a 5-year career as a bouncer, he launched his channel to a roaring success, amassing over 21,000 followers in the first month alone. Zerka's content was an eclectic mix, featuring insane IRL streams that took him to the streets, akin to popular people like Ice Poseidon.
Everybody stop. Stop, stop, stop. I own Los Angeles, that's why you all stop. You can go now.
But then he would also invite girls to come on his show and try to riz them up or roast them, often both at once. He even met up with one of the female participants he had encountered during a stream, making an appearance on her stream that culminated in a bizarre moment where he sniffed her.
In a video game.
I don't know, dude, I'm gay.
Oh my god. Did you just smell me?
No, I was smelled Raj.
In the following months, Zerka's channel experienced exponential growth, and he began to catch the attention of prominent creators like Tyler 1 and Greek God X, getting interviewed.
Bro, Tyler 1, I gotta say, guy's a very interesting guy, legend, frankly. Cool dude, in my opinion. I don't know what it is, dude. Toxic league guys. You know what I mean? It's like, me too. I'm not good at it.
And acting like it was no big deal. Most streamers would bow to their feet and beg for subs. Instead, he called them losers live on the air. To an outsider, it appeared as if he were a—
Bro, you guys are weird. Bro's a health expert at 500 pounds. What are you talking about? Who said I'm a health expert? What are you talking about?
seasoned Twitch veteran who had been a major streamer for years, not just someone who had recently burst onto the scene. And that was largely due to his charisma. It truly was unmatched. Unfortunately, this meteoric rise came with its fair share of pitfalls. In July, during an IRL stream, a girl flashed the camera while trying to promote her Snapchat. Zerka's attempts to react quickly and shield the camera from the
show those boobies, baby. I mean, hey, why not, right? Oop, I forgot to switch. Why not? Well, I guess you have to go on Kick or something if you want to show titties or stream on Pornhub. Let's normalize a Pornhub stream, but they should increase, like, they should have their own thing. Because what if I wanted to react to some kind of an interesting new game that was not available for all platforms? You know what I'm saying?
Decency was not successful, and a look of depression washed over his face, as if he already knew what was coming.
I am Erica_love on Snap.
The following day,
look at how upset he was. That sucks.
Twitch handed down a severe punishment, a 30-day ban due to the incident involving nudity. Fans were outraged, and Zerka too voiced his frustration. Obviously, even objectively speaking, it's ridiculous to ban someone over a stranger flashing the camera. But Zerka had noticed a major hypocrisy in Twitch's rules. He pointed out that Twitch was full of booby streamers that film themselves half naked, and that there were—
Well, I mean, that girl took her whole ass titties out. I think that's a little bit different than just having booby streamers. So, yeah.
several wardrobe malfunctions that didn't get them banned. Except he was the one who got the raw end of the deal when he wasn't even trying to get himself into that situation. In an article written a few weeks after his ban, Zerka said, well, if you look at it, guys seem to make a lot more money than girls on Twitch, so it's unfair that way. But if you look at it the other way, guys deal with severe bans compared to girls. It seems like if you're a girl, you can get away with anything. I'm not going to talk about cats and stuff, but you know what I mean. Basically, girls for nudity get a one-day ban. When someone flashed me on stream, I got perma. Zerka added, before noting that he was only even able to return to Twitch thanks to a top 10 streamer who had his back and petitioned for his return. He stated that he was broken without his chat as they had saved his life, but sounded off on Twitch one final time.
I mean, you know, I don't think it's a man-woman thing. It's probably because maybe they didn't want him on the stream. If he's kind of an edgy streamer, they might have been looking for an excuse to ban this guy, and they laid the ban hammer down onto him because of that. That's more likely to me, at least. That's as to why they would do something like that. Who the fuck is our healer? Okay, this priest, we're good.
Time. How the fuck are you going to take that away from me, and you're not going to take it away from the fucking e-girl that had, oops, wardrobe malfunction for the 30th time to triple her stats? Ridiculous. Following his reinstatement on Twitch, Zerka...
Is that like a real thing that's happening, or is he just kind of making that up, that there are women who are basically intentionally doing more wardrobe malfunctions?
Embarked on a renewed and determined journey in the world of streaming. He had dabbled on and off, but now he was set on taking it very seriously, committing to streaming for 8 hours a day, akin to a regular full-time job. His content, which had been a mix of various elements, began to solidify into two main themes: politics and e-girls. Zerka's venture into politics began when he shared a debate platform on a live show with Destiny, a fellow streamer known for his political discussions. Zerka, in his characteristic and somewhat eccentric style...
Damn, Destiny's getting inside all these videos, bro. Holy shit, I can't get away from this guy. It's crazy. It's almost like, it's my destiny, bro. It's crazy.
Started to express his own political beliefs. These beliefs, as mentioned before, would probably be closest to Andrew Tate's views, but amplified to the extreme. Zerka's approach to politics...
I mean, how amplified could you get? The guy's fucking sex trafficked women. I don't know.
So it's unorthodox and entertaining. He often prioritized saying the most absurd, trollish things to garner laughs and draw in more fans, or just spark outrage on the panel. However, it seemed like he would occasionally interject his genuine political views into the conversation, blurring the line between performance and authenticity. This enigmatic quality, the difficulty in distinguishing whether he was being real or playing a character, became...
I mean, he's always being real. He's just like, it's like almost code switching. He's just sensationalizing it a little bit for attention. Right, like people often use humor as a way to push their actual values through. The only difference is some people that'll like engage in a cowardice and be like, "Well, it was just a joke," when they were like serious, but they just don't want people to criticize them. I'm not saying he did that. I'm just saying that that is something some people do.
Became a hallmark of his content and endeared him to fans who relish the unpredictability. This guy has incredibly mastered the art of being 100% satire, yet still being based and right about 78% of the things coming out of his mouth. In another way, you could say he would start saying insane stuff as long as it got attention, which would define the rest of his career. As he continued to make appearances on Destiny streams, it became clear that he and Destiny had formed a unique partnership and mutual appreciation. Their on-screen dynamic, characterized by contrasting personalities, added depth and entertainment value. Destiny's patient and rational approach often contrasted with Zerka's provocative and unfiltered style, making for some of the funniest Twitch clips of all time. On the other side of Zerka's streaming content was his fascination with e-girls. He frequently broadcasted himself in public settings attempting to pick up girls, and also regularly interacted with female streamers. This also extended into online dating. He'd engage with his chat by swiping left or right on Tinder profiles, often with insane results, trying and failing to rizz up Idubbbz's wife, Anissa Jama, before being banned from her channel.
Damn, he didn't get it? Damn, then no one can.
Hi, I am a famous streamer looking to chill in chat. Is it okay?
Hi, I'm a more famous streamer looking to chill in chat. Hello?
Oh, cool. She's chill.
I'm not even kidding you. It was like legitimate.
She's chill. She's chill. Maybe not.
And before I go any further, this video is brought to you by the Turkey Tom Classic plushie. It's available for a limited time only, so get it while you can. All right, back to the video. There was even one time when he was trying to rizz up a girl while her father was moderating her Twitch chat.
Your parents proud, yeah?
I mean, hey, listen, you're supposed to get her father's permission anyway. So you might as well blast her with some blast the father with some riz. You just got to do it a little bit differently. You can't say, oh, I want to get deep in that pussy. You got to say, oh, let me take you out on my yacht. You know, daddy will like that one. You'd be like, oh, shit, that's my girl. Marry him for his resources. You know, that's what you got to do.
Oh yeah, my dad is actually a mod in my chat. He's like my #1 supporter on socials. My mom like is a little bit too much of a hippie to kind of be into technology things, but
Damn.
Wait, your dad is in chat?
yeah, he's probably watching.
His pursuit of romance, both on and off the internet, became a recurring theme, and it seemed like if you were a female who was active on the internet, Zerka had either already tried to rizz you up or was planning to do so in the future. Around this time, Zerka would accidentally leak his phone number during a stream, but he played it off as a joke, and it didn't stop.
You think he actually, it was an accident, or you think it was like a way to generate some kind of hype around his name? Because like, oh, accidentally you know, then everybody's like, oh my god, Zerka accidentally does, you know, X, Y, and Z. I wonder.
Stop his popularity from continuing to soar. A few weeks later, another clip would blow up of him screaming, "Suck my too loud," interrupting his brother's work conference call and leading him to come in extremely angry while live on the air.
Suck my... I got normie girls that come suck my freaking... I don't need Twitch girls. I need clips, viewers, and fucking community and an army. Yo, chill, bro. Chill.
What the fuck is happening?
Yet, a shadow of discontent loomed over his relationship with Twitch. Even though his channel had amassed over 100,000 followers, Twitch had refused to award him the coveted verification checkmark. It appeared that after Zerka had published...
Oh, I'm like saying, like, why does it? I was thinking, why would you'd have to hit $100,000, but that's not what it was. It was just that they wouldn't, because they got me verified like way sooner. What the fuck? Where are all these things coming from? And what a waste! What a fucking waste of verification too, huh?
Publicly called out Twitch staff for their bias, the platform began to scrutinize his content more closely, actively seeking reasons to suspend him. Many speculated that Zerka's days on Twitch were numbered. Despite this, Zerka still ended the year on a high note, and views were still spiking to new highs never thought possible. However, things would take a turn for the worse in March. Zerka would tweet at Twitch saying that he just got banned out of nowhere, and he wanted to know why. After almost an entire month of being banned with no response, Zerka would...
Well, it just seems like they don't like his content, because he's too edgy for the platform. I mean, it's not like this super hot take. That seems to be what it is. Based on the way that he acts right now, like, yeah, he's a brand risk. Like, no shit. Or based on the way that he acts, based on what we're seeing, like, he's a brand risk. Of course they're not going to, like... They're not going to really want him on their platform. It makes perfect sense.
Would then tweet out, "The reason I was banned was because I clicked on a photo of a girl in a bikini on stream for too long. I thought this would be harmless because girls literally blow up swimming pools in their living rooms and post sexually / bounce on a floaty for millions of dollars on Twitch. The biggest difference is that my chat was respectful, and these pool streamers have chats that are so insane that I'm shocked they get away with it." Fans were outraged, while haters celebrated his ban. Oh yeah, by this point, it's worth noting that John had accumulated a small number of detractors, mostly fitting into two separate camps. On one hand, you had people who interpreted his political statements seriously, and as a result became enraged by them. And on the other hand, you had those who saw through his ascent to the top of Twitch.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is serious. He's just also, like, joking around at the same time. I just find, like, the, oh, everything's a joke thing is, like, silly. Like, people use jokes all the time as, like, ways to push. Fine, I don't care. Like, do you have your beliefs or whatever. But
out the fact that he was continually pushing the line of what he would do or say for clout, and there didn't seem to be a real person behind the name John Zerka, simply an amalgamation of whatever made him most popular at the given moment. But for now, the audience was the least of John's concern, and Twitch staff was his #1 enemy. This temporary ban occurred during the peak of the hot tub streaming trend, reigniting debates about Twitch's double standards regarding barely dressed female streamers. Although this explanation for his ban was speculative, it appeared that Twitch had implemented a ban on using Tinder outright because streamers would show chat pictures of potential matches and ask for opinions, often leading to unsavory responses in Twitch's eyes, to say the least.
That makes sense.
After a grueling 2 months of no streams, Zerka was finally unbanned, but his viewership and momentum had suffered significantly. Destiny had recently come out to support him, and Zerka was now largely considered...
It's so interesting. Destiny seems to support, like, all the... everybody who's, you know, fallen in some capacity or on hard times, we'll say. He's interesting. The Zerka, Mr. Girl, all these other motherfuckers. It's so interesting. Seems to be he's like a daddy. He's like a little daddy, you know.
An orbiter for Destiny. In other words, someone who orbits around a much larger creator than themselves in an effort to gain more views. The reasoning for his frequent appearance on Destiny streams was arguable, but it seemed to fans that after his stagnation and growth as a result of the ban, Zerka had started going on Destiny's shows in an effort to recapture his audience. As fall came around, Zerka seemed like he was starting to get a little more desperate for attention now that he wasn't at his peak, and for some it seemed like he would do anything for another sweet, sweet drip of attention. Little did people know that there was almost no place John wouldn't go for clout. In order to understand the weight of Zerka's choice to take part in a certain fall drama, we're going to have to take a sidetrack to build up context for the situation. A very lengthy and convoluted sidetrack, so buckle up. Comparing Destiny to John Zerka is like comparing a horse to a dolphin. Both of them have zero qualities that they share alike physically, but they do have one major similarity.
I'm trying to think of the similarity between horse and dog. I mean, they have good pussy. I don't know. What is the similarity?
An animalistic desire to mate. Destiny has had a long history of flings with several e-girls, some of them being BPD or borderline personality disorder girls, and this
kind of based, you know. Hey, listen, I mean, they give the best head, but then at the same time, what are you doing, bro? It's like, what the fuck? What are you thinking? You know? Damn.
Situation involves one of them, a girl named Anna, or Anna Frills, who's become extremely infamous in Destiny's community. Destiny and Anna, who, by the way, is a psychology student and a certified domestic abuse counselor, used to be friends. They engaged in...
I mean, listen, that makes sense to me, because fucking listen, the best therapists and whatnot are struggling. They're struggling. That's all I'm saying. They're all struggling. They all have, like, you know, the best therapists have fucking mental issues themselves, right? They know how to relate. So
discussions on their streams, exploring topics related to psychotherapy and abusive.
I'm not slandering BPD. I mean, do you know, figure your shit out and all that, but how do I know that? Because my wife's fucking crazy. That's how I know that. My wife's a fucking behavioral specialist. That's just a social worker.
Relationship dynamics. Destiny even went as far as taking the dark triad personality test per Anna's request. Anna is the internet stereotype of BPD woman, and these streams were absolute dumpster fires in many cases, making her look pretty insane. In fact, these discussions often painted Anna in a negative light, to the extent that, according to Scoot, a prominent Destiny orbiter, Destiny actually prohibited their upload. Right from the start, there was something strange about how Anna was talking to Destiny. Instead of outright diagnosing Destiny with a personality disorder, she consistently made indirect references to specific negative personality traits and behaviors that she believed he exhibited. It wasn't until one of the many streams they shared that Destiny decided to confront her about this tendency. Unfortunately, the conversation veered off.
Yeah, I mean, it's annoying when people in the field like that are just, they try to diagnose you and shit. Even like my wife does it sometimes. Not on purpose. It's almost like fundamental. But I can see why that would get annoying.
Of course, as Anna became fixated on defending the purity of her intentions and the validity of her communication style. Behind the scenes, in the early days of August, they had a face-to-face meeting, but both agreed not to publicize it. Hopefully, you can read, or I guess more accurately, listen between the lines to know what meeting up means. However, Anna, perhaps underestimating the possibility of leaks from her relatively small community, did announce their get-together on her Instagram and Discord. She also somewhat indiscreetly included it in her stream title when she left their shared space to stream separately. To make matters more complicated, unbeknownst to Destiny, she was still streaming when she returned to their shared room. It was weeks later when Steven discovered this and confirmed that he and Anna had indeed met during that time. Even before this, though, the two seemed to already not have the best relationship. Following their meeting, Destiny embarked on a flight to Sweden to visit Melina, his wife, with whom he has an open relationship in case you weren't already aware. Shortly after he landed and started streaming,
yeah, it seems to be the topic of conversation sometimes for people. So, yeah, that's pretty...
He participated in a sponsored event on his stream.
But he does it the yucky way. He lets his wife do sex with boys, too. Ew, you know what I mean? Ew.
During this time, he was essentially unavailable for casual conversations or even messaging, which lasted roughly a day or so.
No, we gotta
Uh-oh.
No, okay.
Mel time.
Why did I say this?
Mel time. It's
hey.
Mel time.
Okay, so we're just doing salsa or just one?
Hey, it's ABBA dancing time, baby. You gotta love it. You gotta love the dancing.
Okay. Yeah?
It was after this period that Anna's reaction took a dramatic turn, as if a switch had been flipped. She began sending him an onslaught of aggressive text walls, expressing her discontent with his behavior and implied that he was a cold, uncaring narcissist who showed no regard for her feelings. Additionally, she criticized what she perceived as his seemingly loose...
I mean, maybe that's true. Or maybe, because Destiny's a little bit cold to people sometimes, or maybe it wasn't, that relationship wasn't as serious as she wanted it to be. And she just couldn't take the hint, and he was like, kind of like, all right, relax a little bit, you know? Because I feel like sometimes maybe girls have can have a little bit of a problem with doing stuff like that. Sometimes, like disconnecting their feelings from it. Even if you tell them, hey, this is just a casual kind of a thing, sometimes they feel like it's a little more than it is, and that causes the guys to be like, all right, relax a little bit, kind of a thing. So
standards when it came to casual relationships.
It's like, Steven, do you have any standards, Steven? You have any standards at all, Steven? Or do you just... Is it just anybody, Steven? Literally anyone, Steven?
What's up with this voice that she's doing? It's like trying to be comedic. It's weird, but okay.
Steven.
I don't know, man. Maybe you just don't talk to him anymore. The way that she's talking about him, it's like she fell in love with this guy, and she was hoping that he would have reciprocated that feeling of love. That's how she's talking. That's what I'm getting out of it, at least. She got really attached to the guy, and that's so sad for her. But that's also life. You know what? If you're going to multi-shot, you can do it.
Everyone? Like, any standards at all? Like, you don't think so?
On one of her streams, in response to a comment about Destiny's parenting, she suggested that extended periods of absence by fathers could have a negative impact on children. Clips of these comments made their way to Destiny, and on October 5th, he made a public announcement that he was ending his association with Anna.
I mean, listen, I'm not super interested in that conversation, but, you know, yeah, maybe. I don't know why you would say that, though. Like, why unpromptedly criticize Destiny and his parenting style unless you're looking for some kind of, like, negative attention from him or you're trying to get back at him? Like, yeah, personally, I think it would be good to be more present in general, especially if you're rich and you can be. But you know what? Hopefully he's doing stuff. What the fuck? Did I not have a quest for that? You fucking
Fed
bitch.
up with the situation, Destiny decided to block Anna on Discord, hoping to put an end to the saga. However, Anna was undeterred and resorted to messaging him relentlessly on Instagram. Faced with this persistence, Destiny had no choice but to block her on Instagram as well. But Anna's obsession was unrelenting. She then turned to Twitter as her next avenue for messaging. Her justification for this persistence was rooted in fear. She apparently was scared about what Destiny might do next, especially since...
That's just not true. I think that it's rooted in, like, she wants Destiny's attention, obviously. That's what it's really rooted in. All of this stuff is for attention. She doesn't care about, like, to be real, she doesn't care about Destiny's kid. She's not like concerned with Destiny's kid or what might actually happen to, you know, the kid. She's concerned with, she's more concerned with getting attention from Destiny.
He had already disclosed details about their relationship and supported them with screenshots of their text messages. Her fear was that he might take things to the next level and potentially share intimate images or content, something she was desperate to avoid at all costs. Dan, another friend of Destiny, managed to persuade both of them.
What, she got weird tits or something? Listen, you know.
To have a moderated conversation on stream. This would allow them to address their respective grievances in a public forum. And thus, the stage was set for the first major breakup stream. Surprisingly, the outcome was an agreement from both parties to never speak about each other.
So, like, I forgot we were watching a video about Zerka. I thought we were doing a fucking Destiny video. I accidentally switched to it. So, did Zerka fuck this girl or something? Or did he kill her? Like, what happened?
Again. Unfortunately, Anna left this conversation feeling mistreated, as she later conveyed to her friend Drew. She was also dissatisfied that Destiny did not acknowledge or apologize.
I have a friend named Drew. Drew P. Balls.
For what she perceived as his abuse. Which, to be clear, there was no abuse. He just didn't message her back, and that set something off in her mind that made her obsessed with him. This ceasefire, however, proved short-lived. The need for further resolution led to the second significant breakup stream, this time moderated by Drew, who happened to be a psychotherapist in training and a friend of Anna's. Once again, the outcome was an agreement to refrain from discussing each other in the future.
Well, guys, I mean, it's always good when doing mental health type things, if you have a personal interest in the person that you're basically doing some form of therapy for. I'm just kidding. It's very unprofessional. Oftentimes gets in the way.
Destiny wanted to distance himself from the situation due to his personal nature, choosing not to upload these streams to his channel. Instead, they remained buried deep among the unlisted VODs. He also took steps to remove all posts in the subreddit that discussed their relationship, hoping to put this chapter behind him. For several months following their tumultuous breakup, both parties reached a mutual agreement.
I'll tell you one thing, because I've had issues with crazy fucking women too when I was like in non-monogamous relationships. Even on the internet, and these women will get fucking crazy, man. And that's one of the things I really do enjoy about being married in a committed relationship, because it can get fucking weird, man. Some people are bizarre. They will just lie and make shit up about you, like verifiably lies too. Like you could prove that they're lies, but they'll still make them. It's so weird.
To ban any discussion of Anna on the subreddit. Anna also committed to refraining from talking about Destiny during her streams. However, some interesting developments emerged during this time. Streamers
some interesting developments developed during this time. Anna needed something to talk about. Is that what happened? I'm just guessing.
And Prime extended invitations to Anna to participate in their panels. And intriguingly, Anna claimed that Steven had encouraged her to expand her streaming by appearing on these panels. It seemed that he was content with the idea of sharing the panel with her. Most notably, Anna also made an appearance on Zerka's stream. During these appearances, Anna often discussed topics related to abuse without explicitly mentioning names. But some viewers interpreted these discussions as indirect references to Destiny, as Anna had a persistence to always talk about these issues on every single panel. What's beyond interpretation, though, is that some individuals Anna reached out to began privately informing Steven that Anna had been making serious allegations against him. These allegations included accusations of non-consensual sexual encounters, manipulation, and a laundry list of other significant claims. This development deeply unsettled Steven, especially since a streamer named Bob7 had previously employed a similar tactic earlier in the year, which had surprisingly effective consequences in tarnishing Steven's relationships. In response, Destiny made several attempts to appease Anna during this period. He initiated dialogue with her behind the scenes and even revisited their long-distance friends with benefits arrangement. There were even moments where he affectionately called her princess, despite the fact that she had said crazy shit about him. It seemed like his best attempt to appease the entire situation and avoid it going nuclear. The culmination of this ongoing drama reached a breaking point when Anna appeared on a Zerka panel alongside a few other streamers. The conversation eventually delved into sensitive territory, and Anna grew increasingly furious, launching into a passionate tirade about Destiny. She began explicitly discussing him and her perceptions of abuse inflicted upon her. In a surprising move, Destiny, who was on vacation...
Did she really think that she was like fucking abused? Or like, I'm not understanding. Or is she just doing this for attention? Because like, what the fuck? I'm starting to believe that she actually believes it now. I thought that she was just doing an epic LOL troll. Now it seems like she actually thinks that she was abused in some capacity. Jesus Christ, this is annoying shit.
Vacation in Sweden at the time, decided to join the conversation to confront Anna. He also had some strong words for Zerka, accusing him of being overly fixated on his romantic life. Zerka had seemingly bought into everything Anna had been saying and continued to provoke Destiny, leading to his growing frustration. Steven voices displeasure, particularly about Zerka's relentless engagement with women who made serious accusations about him.
Steven, we saw the clip of you admitting that most of DGG is from 4chan and that they're ecstasies. Don't you think they're going too hard on Anna?
Listen, John, there's so much stuff to talk about.
Turn your cam on, Steven.
There's so much stuff to talk about on the internet. There must be something to talk about besides my life, John.
Hold on. You think
is he just doing this to fuck with him, just to get him to talk about this conversation that clearly makes him uncomfortable? Jesus Christ. Okay, crazy.
I chose this topic.
Yes, every
Rewatch the VOD. Rewatch the VOD.
No, I just want to.
During this heated stream, Anna had a complete mental volcanic meltdown, marked by screaming, crying, and a cat filter. Zerka had to mute her
I mean, bro, that's crazy. I mean, the cat filter makes it very understandable.
several times so that Steven could even be heard. Over the course of this conversation, much of Anna's behavior, as characterized by Destiny, seemed to be validated. She was crazy. Viewers walked away from this stream with the understanding she was not mentally well, and that her interpretation of reality was not to be trusted. I like how people started off feeling empathy and siding with Anna because she was crying, and then we get to see them all realize she is batshit crazy. Later on, Anna also accused Destiny of forcing her to have unprotected sex, a claim that turned out to be false once DMs were leaked. Nonetheless,
what does it mean, forcing him to have unprotected sex? I mean, okay, interesting.
Panel collectively agreed that they should never discuss each other again.
I mean, like, I know that sometimes guys will try to play the old switcheroo and try to take off the old condom, which is not good, but
bring the issue to a close. However, Zerka later realized that it appeared he was exploiting this emotionally distressed woman for content. In response, he deleted his video of the stream on that day. He managed to convince everyone else, except for the streamer Stardust, to do the same. When Stardust refused—
Oh shit, Stardust! What are you doing, Stardust? Oh man, why didn't she delete it? Did she not have any preservation mentality, so to speak? What the hell are you doing?
Used to delete her copy of the video, Zerka and another streamer, Infrared, attempted to pressure her on stream, leading her to tell him, "Go f yourself." In response to this escalating drama, Destiny decided to prohibit Zerka from using any of his streams as React content moving forward. Zerka initially—
What? This is a cease and desist, by the way. The entire edited part was a typo. You can ask, what the fuck?
claimed that he had been sent a cease and desist letter.
So I can't react to you playing D&D? Oh, fuck.
From Destiny,
whatever,
which Destiny later clarified was—
Okay, just make sure. Report me when I talk about
Zerka
everybody. Interesting. I mean, whatever.
Okay. The tweet 30 minutes later. The drama between Destiny and Anna would persist for months, leading to tens of hours of video content where—
So is that Destiny defending Stardust? Is that what we're saying there? Interesting.
Destiny would call her crazy, and she would have a mental breakdown and kind of validate his take. However, Zerka largely distanced himself from the situation after that incident. In the aftermath of this entire escapade, Destiny and Zerka's relationship remained hostile for the—
So this is why their relationship was hostile? Destiny put his dick in crazy, and then Zerka was fucking around for content? You know? Like, obviously what Zerka did was wrong, but at the same time, bro, why are you fucking crazy girls, you know? Just saying.
Following months, with Destiny coming to the realization that everything Zerka said truly was for the views. Any and all beliefs he expressed seemed to be driven more by a desire for attention rather than genuine conviction.
Maybe. I don't know if that's necessarily what he came to, or Destiny has a really good way of figuring out people are horrible people after he no longer associates with them. So, you know, Mr. Girl, he's like, oh, he's an interesting guy. All of a sudden, they're not friends anymore. This guy's a fucking rapist. He's a fucking this. I remember what he said. It's like, yeah, he's a bad guy. He's an abusive piece of shit. It's funny that you figure that out after the bridge is burned. Not saying that probably knew beforehand, but it was more, you know, he was getting some content out of them. So when they was getting some content out of him, you know, it was a little, he would be nicer. But then the bridge naturally gets burned because he talks to fucking people with boundary issues because they're controversial and obnoxious. And that's the thing. People on social media, streamers, people who make this as their career have boundary issues. I'm not saying I don't. Fundamentally, there's a weird blurred line between what you should and shouldn't keep private and public, or for content and what not for content. And then you see issues like this arise, right? So, yeah.
Even in cases where he would seemingly break character and say something in earnest. He was willing to have Anna, someone who Destiny had openly expressed was spreading lies about him, on his stream to spread lies about Destiny. Meanwhile, Destiny was half the reason that Zerka had managed to fall back on after his ban in the first place. It felt like a betrayal. Despite this, the two rekindled their association with each other a few months later, and while not exactly friends, they were willing to be friendly with each other in a rival type way, after Zerka apparently apologized, and Destiny decided to let the Anna saga be water under the bridge. They would still debate each other.
Once Zerka no longer couldn't do anything with the content anymore. Once he had no more content to farm, he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, that was bad in retrospect.
Get heated, but the two stopped genuinely hating each other after a while. If you take him seriously, Zerka is the most annoying person in the world. If you treat him like a clown, Zerka is a lovable idiot. This period also coincided with the rise of red pill content, prompting Zerka to shift his content strategy. A new era was unfolding for the Zerka fanbase, and things were about to get even more crazy. In 2022, Zerka's content took on a familiar pattern of contrarian and red pill style stuff, designed to provoke intense reactions from his audience and others alike. His classic persona as a charismatic, selfish, and somewhat dense frat guy was a perfect recipe to blow up. Zerka continued with his—
So basically, Red Pill Hassan. I gotcha. Cool.
regular routine of picking up girls and engaging in debates on his streams. It was also in 2022 that another prominent right-leaning creator, Sneeko, found himself facing bans on various social media platforms and sought a platform to consolidate his audience. Zerka reached out to Sneeko, and the two hit it off. In October, Zerka embarked on a unique adventure, collaborating with YouTuber Infrared in a trolling expedition on college campuses. They held up signs defending Putin and Russia, which led to a random college student throwing hot coffee at Zerka. Impressively, he used the sign as a makeshift shield to deflect the blow.
We got Obama's drones on the way.
Smart guy, huh?
Yo, get this off camera.
Late in 2022, Zerka engaged in various debates with Destiny, including a notable one about whether the Earth was flat or not. You can probably imagine the position that Zerka took.
It's because the Earth is spinning on an axis and those stars are so tremendously far away.
Like, why even take the conversation? You know he's just trolling, and that he's not genuine about anything he thinks. You're taking the conversation about it like he cares. But yeah, content, baby. I guess that's what it is. We're getting dumpstered right now.
Right,
we're not gonna move through the sky.
But you're not just spinning through an axis. The sun is moving too, so it's an asymmetric model where you're flying through space. So
wait, John Zerka, if you look up at the sun, and you walk around your apartment building, the sun's not gonna move through the sky, dog.
During the same month, another YouTuber named Mr. Girl, who you may remember for his very positive review of the movie Cuties, interviewed Zerka in an attempt to gather dirt about Destiny for his own reasons. During the stream, Zerka took the opportunity to troll Mr. Girl and made a mockery of his attentions.
Well, yeah, I think Mr. Girl, after everything had gone down poorly, the bridge broke. All of a sudden, Destiny was like this manipulative piece of shit. Seems like a lot of people like to make content out of Destiny, which, I mean, I do too. I do reactions to him and stuff. But it's interesting the relationship he has with some controversial people. If only he could see it coming. If only he knew that these were bad people, some of these people he was talking to, and that they might not be good guys. I don't know.
Revealing a softer and more humorous side to his fans. This incident also showed that deep down, Zerka still had a certain affinity for Destiny. Zerka actually managed to make Mr. Girl look way worse than anyone else has. Mr. Girl is embarrassing. The following month, Destiny and Zerka even met in person and had lunch together. However, a bit of drama resurfaced in January when Zerka revealed that he had attempted to pay a creator named Dylan Burns in order to prevent him from making a video about the drama involving Anna. Despite everything that
he paid somebody to not do it? Oh my god. Interesting.
Happened, Zerka still seemed to maintain a friendship with her. Hope you know Anna had stated the whole reliving of her bad moment is taking a toll on her mental health. I will donate 1,000 anonymously if you stop. Money is no issue. Dude, I don't want money, I'm good. I'm not even going after her. I know next to nothing about this. The year 2023 would be explosive for Zerka, but it started on an unfortunate note. In February, Zerka received his third and final ban from Twitch, and this time it was permanent. While some viewers were puzzled, others weren't entirely surprised given his history of bans. Speculation ensued regarding the reason behind that ban, with some suggesting that JD, a fellow streamer, played a role. The theory circulating on subreddits and comment sections was that JD ANH had contacted Twitch moderators because her boyfriend felt uneasy about Zerka inviting her to his birthday stream podcast. It was perplexing to many. However, it was all conjecture until the streamer herself disclosed her involvement in Zerka's ban, albeit for a slightly different reason than the public theory. According to her, Zerka had lied about her—
So he never dropped the bomb. Destiny knows these people aren't good and controversial. That's why he keeps engaging with them for interesting content. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's obviously true. You obviously have huge Among Us balls.
cheating on her boyfriend, a claim she vehemently disputed. Outraged by this falsehood, she decided to take the matter to Twitch staff and requested Zerka's ban.
Yeah, basically he lied that I cheated on my boyfriend with him. Again, I was back then single during the time I cheated on anyone, and just saying a lot of false on he would broadcast my stream, and it was really bad. Like, a lot of people came to my chat from his chat harassing me, saying bad things. So I went to Twitch staff because I know people there, texted him, told him exactly what he did, and now he's been banned, and I assume it's because of
the revelation that she had the means to influence a Twitch ban over a personal gripe raised eyebrows and drew criticism for its audacity. Even Destiny, who wasn't known for defending Zerka at this time, spoke up in his favor. He not only highlighted the absurdity of someone having the power to get others banned through a simple text message, but also vouched for Zerka's character. Destiny asserted that Zerka was not the type to engage in creepy behavior or slide into someone's DMs inappropriately.
I will say, I've known Zerka for a while, and I've heard stuff privately, and I've known him publicly and personally. I really don't think Zerka, I've never heard of him ever creeping on a girl, ever. The idea that you could just casually, like, fucking DM.
Oh, it doesn't mean he's not creeping on a girl. I mean, he seems like the kind of type, that would potentially do it. I mean, I'm not saying that he did, but it seems like the kind of guy who'd be kind of like fucking weird when it comes to girls, but, you know, that doesn't mean anything.
Like someone that works at Twitch, and be like, I need you to, like, fucking permaban this fucking guy. I need you to end this dude's whole fucking career. That's so fucking wild to me.
Despite the defense from Destiny, Zerka still found himself permanently banned from Twitch, and nothing was going to change that. The consequence was not just the loss of nearly 200,000 followers, but also a profound sense of despair. He described this period as the darkest phase of his life during a rare moment on Destiny's stream, when he seemed genuinely depressed and, for once, completely out of character.
I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I'm going through the worst phase of my life. Worse than high school, worse than getting fired, worse than losing everything. I don't even know how I'm smiling talking about it. I think it's, I mean, this is the first time in my life I called my mom to You know what I mean? Have you ever been hurting so bad you talk to your mom? You just leak to your mom? Actually, it's not okay.
In his quest to address his ban, Zerka found an unexpected opportunity on the No Jumper podcast alongside Destiny. Their debate was nothing short of insane, marked by Zerka's constant fidgeting, microphone cable wrangling, and passionate rants about fluoride, as well as Destiny's preferences in romantic partners.
He likes 18-year-olds a lot.
You think he looks 18?
No, he likes them.
That's not even true.
He bangs a lot of 18.
That's not true.
19.
Not true.
Like, okay, say you had a hot 18-year-old holler at you tomorrow.
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I just say I don't. It's not like I've got a legion of 18-year-old girls.
But okay, like you clearly would like to be living the Leonardo DiCaprio lifestyle. What's holding you back? Is it morals or is it just optics?
Looks.
This episode attracted a staggering number of views, partly due to Zerka's devoted following from his previously banned channel, and partly because No Jumper was experiencing a content drought. Even clips reposted to highlight specific channels received hundreds of thousands of views. New viewers, who had never encountered Zerka before, were captivated by his eccentric character and unfiltered craziness.
John Zerka is the human embodiment of letting intrusive thoughts win. Maybe he has ADHD, bro. I'm there sometimes on this thing called the Robin Dan Podcast. Link in the description. I do that with my wife. So, you know what I mean?
Interview and debate with Destiny were such a hit that Zerka was invited.
This is the first time you've seen Zerka be real, and it's shocking. Yeah, me too. I mean, I wasn't super interested in even really checking Zerka out because he just seems like kind of the whole fresh and fit thing and Ab and Preach was like just like disgusting. You know, it takes jokes to the next level. It's just going around like contributing with them, like pretending he's like a fucking KKK member and like making monkey sounds. It's just like disgusting shit. Like it's not a joke. You're just being racist at that point. I'm still not like super into this guy. He just seems like kind of not a good person.
Back not once, but 2 times in quick succession, 9 days later and then 6 days after that. His interviews collectively garnered nearly 500,000 views, effectively catapulting him back into the spotlight after a period of waning relevance following his ban. Zerka craved this attention and wanted it to keep pouring in, and in May, Zerka appeared to engage in a fight with his former subscribers. But the video documenting this altercation was so blatantly staged that virtually everyone saw through the ruse almost immediately.
Damn, he's doing prank content? He's doing prank content now? Come on, bro. What are you doing? Freaking fake pranks.
When an article was written about this supposed feud, the primary focus shifted to people's annoyance at Zerka's attempts to manufacture drama to boost his relevance. A mere 7 days after this episode, Zerka...
Hey man, that's a slippery slope, just doing shit for attention. I feel like that's just not a good idea. You're better off like having waning attention and just like kind of chilling for a little bit rather than trying to force engagement like that. I just feel like it hurts your... I feel like it just hurts your credibility as an individual.
Embarked on a double date with Melina and Sneeko. The jokes practically wrote themselves, especially revolving around a certain word that starts with a C and ends with UCK.
What is that? Gotcha.
The great irony of this, of course, is that he was making these kind of jokes while ignoring Sneeko's own involvement in similar scenarios.
Yeah.
During this double date, Zerka and Sneeko seemed to get friendlier, ultimately leading Sneeko to pave the way for Zerka's appearance on the up-and-coming Fresh and Fit podcast, thanks to his connections with the hosts. Fresh and Fit was like a second home for Zerka. The show delved into topics that aligned with what he had discussed with his audience.
I bet Zerka was part of the reasons why they got despawned. I mean, excuse me, they got demonetized in some capacity. I wouldn't doubt it. They got fucking hit hard.
4 years, politics, masculinity, relationships, and all the nuances, or maybe lack of nuances in their case, in between. Zerka even had the chance to interact with other prominent figures on the politics side of things, such as Nick Fuentes, who's probably the most controversial person in modern politics. He swiftly became a regular on Fresh and Fit, winning over new fans who were previously unfamiliar with his persona. Around this time, Zerka also decided to launch his own channel on the alternative streaming site Kick, but it's unclear whether this was due to securing a deal or simply because he missed streaming on his own terms. While appearing on shows like Fresh and...
I mean, it makes sense. Kick seems to be a little loosey. I'm surprised he didn't do it on Rumble, though. Yeah, despawn. Well, it's something... so I heard somebody say the word respawn in the games.
It was enjoyable. It was evident that Zerka longed for the independence of streaming on his own channel. In early June, he introduced his own website called Date IQ, which is essentially dedicated to how to pick up chicks.
Ah, yes, and everybody's selling a course. Why would you take advice from Zerka on picking up girls? The only reason I asked that question is because wasn't this whole thing he couldn't get girls for a long time until he got rich? So what's your you just what are you gonna say, guys? Get rich and then you get women, right? Because he didn't get girls until he started gaining some kind of internet infamy and I imagine some money. So your advice, like, what's your advice? It's not like you have to deal with. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, whatever.
This is a Sigma alpha male, following a similar vein to many Andrew Tate clone websites. The website itself is actually really funny. If you go to the top, you've just got a video of him on Fresh and Fit next to Sneeko. And then if you scroll down, you've got this goofy picture of him with a Miami hat on. It says, learn how to talk to women and get what you want. And then below that, it says, in Date IQ, I'll show you how to get your phone blowing up. And then we have a list of messages that I guess you'll be receiving very quickly after interacting with John Zerka. Here we have
Oh my God, you didn't have to riz me up like that. Holy shit. I remember when girls used to say that to me. Oh my God, how did you know where I lived? I'll just knock on the window, you know?
Mary Damon.
Last night was so fun. We should run it back. It sounds like a sports term.
It says, OMG, you didn't have to riz me up like that.
Kylie Jenner? Holy fuck. I think that's an important person. Holy Jesus. I think she invented makeup. I think. That's my understanding. Don't we have to go up there, right? We're good. We Gucci.
We have Kylie Jenner, who says, last night was so fun, we should run it back. Date IQ says, boom, you have 34 new days scheduled. Keep crushing it, G. Lena, I think this is Lena the Plug, as in Adam22's wife, says, my boyfriend wants you inside me. And then we have Bottom G, who says, yo, put me onto your game. And he also
Damn, Bottom G. Is he throwing a little bit of flair at Andrew Tater Tot?
also claims to have changed thousands of lives. John reviews his smoothest pickups, where some girls started off hating him and turned into loving him within an hour of him speaking to them. John breaks down each and every detail of what he says, how he says it, why he says it, in granular detail so it's replicable for anyone. So if any guys in the audience are having a hard time with the ladies, hit up Date IQ, okay? This is your one-stop shop. Results not guaranteed. There's gonna be no results. Let's be real. On June 15th, Zerka dropped a mysterious video on Twitter showcasing his face covered in bruises while uttering the 6-letter F word a few times. This puzzling and slightly alarming post left fans both confused and concerned for his well-being. Later on, Zerka shed light on the incident, which apparently involved Sneeko. He revealed that it all stemmed from him making derogatory remarks about Muslims during one of his streams. Apparently, a group of individuals from the Muslim community confronted him in real life, demanding an apology and trying to intimidate him. Surprisingly, Zerka took responsibility for the altercation, not for his derogatory comments, but for his...
Isn't this guy like a born-again Christian or something? No? I could swear I heard that. I could have sworn.
Aggressive response. Instead of backing down, he basically encouraged them to fight him. He admitted that he should have handled it more peacefully instead of provoking further conflict. Unsurprisingly enough, this newfound perspective didn't prevent him from later mocking Sneeko for his devout...
I could swear that this dude was like super religious and like always jerking off religion. I don't know. Okay.
Religiosity and efforts to spread the teachings of Allah. Around this time, Zerka also claimed to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's stunt double in the movie Skyscraper. He insinuated that The Rock was a homosexual, complete with a comical photo featuring a lookalike and The Rock himself. Fast forward to July 13th, and Zerka, Nick Fuentes, and Sneeko decided to join forces, Power Ranger style, to debate destiny on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Zerka seemed to have assembled his dream team from the past few months, ready to take...
Yeah, people were saying that Destiny lost that optically. I don't think I watched it. So I'm just so tired of that fucking dude, you know?
On the epic libtards in classic ownage style. The outcome? An entertaining shouting match that both sides appeared to relish in, as was often the case with debates featuring Zerka. Additionally, John found himself entangled in a minor dispute with FouseyTube. In classic Zerka manner, once he got Fousey on the phone on livestream...
So was this after Fousey was getting like under fire, and he decided to capitalize on that by talking to the guy? A completely inorganic situation. One of those things where he's like, listen, this guy's, everybody hates FouseyTube right now. What if I go and I go after him? And then people might like me because they're like, oh, well, he's better than FouseyTube. You know what I mean? A lot of people will play that fucking bullshit stunt.
He decided to call him gay and ridicule him for an incident involving a prostitute at an airport.
Yeah, I watched part of the debate, and I was like, I don't see why people are saying that Destiny lost that, but, you know... hey, you know what? Maybe I'm just dumb.
Yet another means to maintain his streak of fame, Zerka decided to contract a 20-year-old adult film actress to join him on stream. He falsely claimed that she was 16 years old and called himself a pedophile. Yes, you heard me right. He called himself that in an attempt to bait reactions.
Well, I'm pretty sure, I mean, I wouldn't doubt this for reactions, but I'm pretty sure Nick Fuentes, he got pushed on the fact that he said he would date like a teenager to get her pregnant because that's the most fertile time, his words. You know, and, you know, we don't usually just talk about fertility. We also talk about, you know, mental maturity. That being said, or just maturity in general, really. So, I mean, yeah, listen, some people keep similar company. If your friend thinks it's okay to date teenagers, maybe you also do. I don't know. I don't know shit, though. So
this audacious stunt successfully garnered attention, with Drama Alert even featuring a viral tweet covering the clip. For those unfamiliar with Zerka's history, these tweets might have raised eyebrows. However, for those who knew him well, it was evident that these statements were merely extreme provocations aimed at generating more attention and views. Although still peculiar, Zerka's track record made it clear that these statements were nothing more than bait for reactions. Nonetheless, some viewers couldn't help but interpret these statements as a Freudian slip, saying these jokes were just a mask for what he he truly felt. And I don't necessarily blame
It's really bizarre. It is interesting though, because like people, you know, I understand people are sensitive to jokes, but people are like go crazy over any joke like that. Like I made that joke like that. I was like, oh, she's old enough to bleed, old enough to breed a couple of years ago, and then it was like, thank you very much to somebody who allegedly slept with a child, and people just went fucking crazy. You know, I understand saying, hey, this is not appropriate, but you know, it's interesting how fucking crazy people get with that stuff. You know, and I feel like if somebody is willing to make a joke about doing weird shit with kids, I feel like, well, that's obviously disgusting and inappropriate, but also I feel like people who would get super pearl-clutchy about that, to me, that sounds like they have more to hide than the person making the joke. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, you just don't want to manifest it? What do you think? It's like casting a spell on you? You're going to get fucking attracted to kids because of it? You fucking weirdo, you know? I don't know. But hey, maybe I'm just dumb as shit. Maybe I grew up in a different generation.
These people for thinking that. After all, that's what Zerka wanted. He wants you to think that because in his mind, as long as you're thinking about him at all, he won, no matter how disgusting you think he is. By mid-August, Zerka's friendship with Sneeko began to crumble as he increasingly distanced himself due to his inability to handle banter or criticism, which eventually led him to unfollowing Sneeko on Twitter. On August 25th, Sneeko responded to a video made by Zerka in which he—
Wait, what? Wait, how did their infighting? And how are these, dude, how is it that people like Sneeko and Zerka are the most sensitive people in the world? Like, they're the most obnoxious and like rude to other people, but the second they get any back to them, they start crying. Like, this guy will go on and like just be a complete provocative dick, Sneeko specifically, and then the second that you make a joke about him, he just starts crying. You're just trying to emasculate me. Like, I remember when we had our chat and he was talking about, I think I had like Funko Pops behind me or whatever. He's like, oh, Funko Pops, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to, I guess you say, emasculate me. I thought it was stupid and like funny. And then I made fun of him saying he's not a real man because he doesn't respect women. All of a sudden, oh, you're trying to emasculate me, this blah, 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 blah. You're a bad guy. He just goes off on a fucking tangent. It's like a meltdown. He's a weird guy. I don't get it.
Hinted at having incriminating information about Sneeko that he chose not to disclose. Sneeko's response asserted that he, in fact, played a significant role in Zerka's—
I know that Sneeko was something about Sneeko. He falsely accused somebody of sexual assault, of trying to sexually assault his ex-girlfriend that cucked him. And it was Brandon Buckingham. And then Brandon said he wouldn't fight him, and Sneeko dodged it because he's a pussy. So
rise to fame.
And you don't have to fight anybody if you don't want to. You know? But if you're going around challenging everybody to a fight, and then, you know, this one guy actually wants to fight you, you're a pussy.
His career, and he admits it. I don't even say that on stream because I don't want to like come off.
Let's see.
He made Zerka's career, and he admits it.
Remember when Sneeko literally made me? I'm halfway to $1 million already, and it's just been a couple of weeks since our drop. Whoa, dude, that's crazy, bro. It took you a while for your balls to drop, though, but that's good for you. God bless.
I don't even say that on stream because I don't want to like come off like I'm egoing him. He will tell you, Sneeko made my career. I make his career, and then all you do for months straight is talk shit, talk shit, talk shit. You go on stream, Sneeko this, Sneeko that, Sneeko that, Sneeko that.
Zerka admitted this point was true, but countered with, you're gay, lol. Destiny
solid counter.
On this exchange, speculating that the dirt Zerka possessed on Sneeko might involve providing him with drugs, and Sneeko not strictly adhering to the religious principles he had been preaching about for months.
There's like a million times where I say stop, he says stop attacking me, and I just delete them. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the fall Zerka's talking about is probably the drugs. That'd be my guess. He said he got drugs from Xeno, and it was probably Sneeko.
On September 1st, during a call with Aiden Ross, Sneeko abruptly left the conversation, presumably out of fear, when Aiden added Zerka to the call. Sneeko's chat obviously ragged on him and labeled him as a coward, to which Sneeko only responded by expressing his desire for genuine friendships.
You told me to add him in, and now you're trying to leave when he's about to join? It's just kind of weird. There we go.
I want real friends, bro.
Whoa, so cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong fundamentally with deciding to disconnect yourself from a toxic situation. If that was his actual motivation, that is. So, whatever you do, you, man.
I want real friends. I don't want people around. Like, I'm sick of this, like, the influencer thing. Don't you see how, like, and this is why it's uncomfortable now.
Bro, you do the influencer thing. What are you talking about? That's the problem.
2 days later, Aiden Ross interviewed and confronted Zerka about his pedophilic comments, to which Zerka responded while donning a Mario costume, refusing to back down from his prior statements. Aiden, seemingly overwhelmed, was left speechless, and his reaction was akin to a computer experiencing a sudden malfunction.
Did you call me a pedophile?
Yes! Yeah, Sneeko told me you're a pedophile.
Yeah, I am, but I didn't know you knew, like, is Sneeko just talking shit?
I mean, it's a little bit weird, don't you think? You don't think it's weird to fuck 16-year-olds? It's a little weird.
Well, I don't think you're a pedophile, but it definitely disgusting behavior.
It's weird, but they're so hot, dude. I went to a state where it's legal and I just fucked one.
Yeah, nah, come on, bro.
What
Ultimately,
the fuck?
John Zerka will stop at nothing to secure the highest—
Is this, Chad, is this real? Chad, is this real? Is he really doing that? What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I mean, I don't know. I wonder if some of the things... I wonder if sometimes we think he's joking because we don't want to believe that he does weird fucking gross shit like that. Oh my god.
Amount of views, or what he deems to be the funniest content. Regardless of whether you agree with anything he says, it's hard to deny that he's an entertaining figure. At the end of the day, this is the primary objective for most online content creators, providing entertaining content. Sometimes it's enjoyable to watch an eccentric individual passionately scream at the top of their lungs about the earth being flat, even if you vehemently disagree with their views or actions. And sometimes it's also entertaining to watch a trash fire, which at this point, the IRL streaming community, between FouseyTube, Aiden Ross, and John Zerka, seems to be getting adequate fuel. The brakes on the Zerka train appear to be non-existent, and it's likely he will—
Yeah, it seems like the IRL scene might be pretty lucrative right now. Of course, that's why Sneeko has jumped ship over to it, so maybe that's like the next big thing.
Continue to pull off more stunts in the future, perpetually striving to outdo his own level of absurdity and outrage that he can generate towards himself. That being said, this can't last forever. For every fan he gains when he does something absurd, he loses 10 potential fans who are turned off by whatever he said. These people will never watch—
Yeah, I guess so, maybe. You know, but he would have to completely change him. Yeah, sure. I guess that's true. That's how it
because
works,
of that.
so,
And for the fans who do stick around,
everybody,
he
I
has to
guess.
increasingly embarrass or incriminate himself for the sake of entertainment.
That's true. I mean, oh my god, the fans and audience, I was going to say the other. The audience that he's encouraging are individuals that they're there for the shock value. And when you're not being shocking anymore, they're not going to tune in. And so you're really just giving yourself audience capture. You know, it's one thing to be edgy. It's another thing to be make yourself a joke out of yourself. Because only people that want to see that train wreck are going to engage with you. And so it's good to get followers and fans, but also you kind of want to make sure that who are those followers and who are those fans to make sure that it's not going to put you in a place down the line where you're going to get criticism for not being enough of a dickhead or shocking or edgy enough or this or that or blah, 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 you know? That's what you want to be careful of.
Also burning bridges with everyone around him. Truly, John is someone who is fun to enjoy from afar. But for everyone who gets close, between Destiny and Sneeko, they seem to realize sooner or later that staring into his eyes is more akin to staring into the abyss. He's a complete vacuum of personality that will truly do anything for views. I've been Turkey Tom. Thanks for watching. And until next time, buy my plushies. Bye.
All right, cool. Cool video.